This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to be here helping you with playing music and playing the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I am doing an overview of seventh chords, just sort of a theoretical explanation, give us the big picture of what they look like. If you're needing help with specific voicings for these, you can check out my quick answer episodes on the specific voicings that relate to these. But I'm just going to do a little bit of an overview of seventh chords in this lesson. So we have, with our chords, we have major chords, we have minor chords, we have augmented chords, we have diminished chords. So like C major or C minor. And then all the difference between that is the third of the chord. It goes from being major to minor. So we have major versus minor. So root third 5 or root flat 3 5. The major chord comes right out of major scale, steps 1, 3, and 5. The minor chord comes right out of a minor scale, steps 1, flat 3 or minor 3. It's got the minor third and then that fifth. So that's the difference. We also can have augmented chords. Those are major chords with a sharp 5 or an augmented fifth. Or we can have diminished chords. That's minor chords where we flat the fifth or a diminished fifth. So with those types of chords, we can have a seventh on there, and we have two types of seventh. We have a major seventh or a minor seventh, and we can throw those in on any of these types of chords. So let me take a look here. I just mentioned the key. Capital M equals the major, so it's a major version of the interval, or the note that's in the scale that's also in the chord, and then a lowercase m equals minor. A equals augmented, so like where we sharp that 5. D equals diminished, where we flat the 5 or double flat the 7th. We're going to see that here as we look at the different types of chords. So let's start. We got a lot of stuff on the board, and it's a lot of information. It's like composer's craziness. Some of my students say, you get the quintessential composer's handwriting. Well, hopefully it's readable. So we got up here the major 7th and the dominant 7th chords. I'm going to compare these first because they're both major chords. They both have the root, the major 3rd, and the perfect 5th. So like C. Both of them have that. But with these, we have the two different types of 7ths we can add. We have a major 7th, or we've got the flatted 7th. So major 7th chords, another name for them is major 7th. And what that means is it's a major chord, so you have a major 3rd, and then a major 7th. Whereas the dominant 7th, another name for those is major minor. And the reason is because they are a major chord with a minor 7th, or the flatted 7th. The chord symbol is different. With the major 7th chord, it's sort of the one that's pretty. You could say it's not one that we run into as often. It's less common. With that one, we need something in front of the 7th, so something in between the name of the root, like C, B flat, or F sharp. We need something in between that and the number 7, telling us it's a major 7th. So you're going to see triangle 7 is one way that we run into it, like M-A-J, mage, is another way, or an uppercase M, capital letter M, tells us it's a major 7th. So we have C, major 7th there as an example. Root, 3rd, 5, major 7th. I will mention, sometimes with 7th chords, just the way we have to finger them, sometimes the 5th gets omitted. So that perfect 5th sometimes gets omitted because we can't fit it in and fit the 7th in. And we sort of catch it anyway because of the overtone series and that sort of strength between the root and the 5 and the way we just sort of sounds, even if we're not playing it. But I'm playing it there. A lot of the voicings have it, but some don't. Just mentioning that. The dominant 7th then, this one's our more common one, like C7, F sharp 7, B flat 7, G7, D7. We run into these all the time. This is our major chord with the flatted 7th added. So root 3rd, 5, flat 7. So like C7. This one has the 5th omitted. We can't fit it in on top of what we're doing. But we've got lots of dominant 7th chords. G7, A7, E7, D7. very common. This is the most common 7th chord we play in pop, folk, country, everything. This chord functions as the 5-7 chord of the key, which is the one that wants to resolve. It's got a tension that it wants to go back to the home chord or the tonic chord of the key. That's just an FYI. We're really not talking about chord progressions here, specifically just types of chords. So that's on the major side with the major triad, adding those 7ths to it. We can add a major 7th or a minor 7th to a major chord. Major, having it as a major 7th makes it a major 7th chord. Having it as a minor 7th makes it a dominant 7th chord. So a major chord with a minor 7th. So we can do the same thing with the minor chords. So if I have a minor chord, root, flat 3 or minor 3rd, 5th, I can add the major 7th to it. So here's an example of C minor major 7. This one is known as a minor major 7th chord. This is the only one where we actually say the whole name in theory terms of the chord when we're talking about it, minor major 7th. The rest of them we just say, we're just really talking the 7ths and how they relate, but we know that the chord's major or minor. But the chord symbol for this one, we're going to need something that we're next to the root telling us that it's a minor chord, like a minus sign, a lowercase m. So the normal things that we see when we see a minor chord. And then we need something in front of the 7 telling us it's a major 7th that's being added to this chord, like the triangle 7, capital letter 7, triangle 7. So minor chord with a major 7th. That one's kind of rare. We run into it occasionally. Songs like My Funny Valentine, sort of a James Bond sound. You'll hear that a little bit in that theme. But it's a rich color that we only see once in a while. We do run into the minor 7th chord a lot. This is a minor chord with a minor 7th. So minor, minor 7th. It has the root, the minor 3rd, the perfect 5th, and then the minor 7th added. And this one we just have the root, something telling us it's minor. A minor chord like a minus sign or a lowercase m. And then we have the number 7 thrown on. So when it's a minor 7th thrown on, it's just placed onto the chord symbol. It would be confusing if we put something in front of that 7 telling us it was minor, like a lowercase m or a flat. All of those things would interfere with the other parts of the chord symbol, so it would be confusing. So when it's a flatted 7th or a minor 7th, we just throw it on there on the chord symbol. When it's a major 7th, we have to put something right in front of it to say, oh, it's not the flatted 7th or the minor 7th, it's a major 7th. So C minus 7, C minus sign 7 tells us a C minor chord with a minor 7th. B flat minor 7 tells us a B flat minor chord with that flatted 7th. F sharp minor tells us an F sharp minor chord with that 7 there. Okay, so that's the core of our major or minor chords with the 7th. If we go altering the 5th, we get another whole slew of chords. So we can have a sharp 5 or a flat 5, an augmented 5th or a diminished 5th. And traditionally we throw the diminished 5th on to minor chords and the augmented 5th onto major chords. But as music has progressed forward, we actually run into throwing either 5th on in any case. So we can have a major 7th chord, so the major 7th chord with a sharp 5. So I have an example here, C major 7 in the chord symbol, and then you're going to see like sharp 5 thrown on. You could also run into like augment AUG period 5, but it just makes the chord symbol long. Usually it's a sharp sign or a plus sign. So you could also run into a plus sign, which I've shown here. So the dominant 7th then, I've just got it abbreviated with a sharp 5, like B flat 7, sharp 5. So with these ones I should make an example here. So C, E, G sharp, B. It's a really interesting sound to have that sharp 5 thrown there with it. The dominant 7th with a sharp 5. I'll just play one here. It's not in order. That's got the root, the sharp 5, the flat 7, and the 3rd. That's how that's voiced. That's a B flat 7, sharp 5. So dominant 7 with a sharp 5, we can have that. We can have a minor major 7th with a sharp 5. Wowzer, you say. So like here's an F sharp minor major 7th. If I sharp that 5. So that's how that one works. And the chord chord symbol. F sharp tells us it's a minor major 7th, and then +5 tells us not just that we're adding the 5th, but it's a sharp 5. So plus or sharp signs tell us augment that 5th, sharp that 5. We can have a minor 7th chord with a sharp 5. So here's example of C minor 7 sharp 5. So minor 7th with a sharp 5. So we can add that sharp 5 or the augmented 5th onto any of the 4 types of chords we have up there. We can also add the flatted 5th or the diminished 5th to any of those 4 chord types. So major 7 with a flat 5. So here's a major 7 chord. Here's with a flatted 5th. There's the flatted 5, 7, 3. Root, flat 5, 7, 3. That's pretty cool. You could have the dominant 7th with a flatted 5th. So like F sharp 7 here with a flatted 5. Root, flat 5, flat 7, 3. So F sharp 7 minus 5. So when we're adding a diminished 5th on, you could see flat 5 in front of it. You can see a minus 5. Some minus is less common, but it can be thrown on there. But occasionally you'll also see DIM period, like diminished 5th. So DIM period 5 or DIM 5, diminished 5th. So that's a dominant 7 with a flat 5. We can do a minor major 7 with the flat 5, like C minor major 7 with the flat 5. So here's C minor major 7. Then if I go and flat that 5, flat 5, major 7, flat 3. You could also have a minor 7th with the 5th flatted. So here's one here. Root, flat 7, flat 3, flat 5. So, and we got the B flat minor 7, flat 5. So that we can show in like summary there. You can throw a sharp 5, which is also known as an augmented 5th, or a flat 5, also known as a diminished 5th. We can throw those onto any of our 4 types of core major 7th chords. So our major major 7th, otherwise known as major 7th, our major minor 7th, otherwise known as dominant 7th, our minor major 7th, otherwise known as minor major 7th, and our minor 7th, otherwise known as minor minor 7th. I said that one backwards from the others. So our minor minor 7th, otherwise known as minor 7th for simplicity. There's a couple more things here to mention. On this minor 7 flat 5 chord, it's also known as a half-diminished chord. So you can also see that one having this circle with a line through it, like half diminished. And here's like F sharp half diminished 7th. That's another way to look at it. And the reason we look at it that way, we have to come up here and look at a fully diminished 7th chord. So a half diminished 7th chord, this one has the root, the minor 3rd, and the minor 5th, the diminished 5th, the flatted 5. So root, flat 3, flat 5. That's a minor intervals, minor 3rd intervals on top of each other. That creates our diminished triad. So then when we added the flatted 7th on top of it, it becomes half diminished because the 7th isn't diminished. So over here in the fully diminished 7th chord, we have a root, a minor 3rd, a diminished 5th, and then a diminished 7th. What does that mean? It means that, and I'll just exemplify it here on C. We have the root, the flatted 3rd, the flatted 5th or diminished 5th, and then the diminished 7th, which is a double flatted 7th. It's the same pitch actually to our ears as the 6th of the scale, the major 6 interval. So diminished 7th is there. And that's fully diminished when that 7th is also diminished. It's half diminished when it's just a flatted or minor 7th. So these ones sound like C diminished 7th, for example, or D diminished 7th. So fully diminished 7th chords. These ones are kind of cool. They're symmetrical because the interval distance between each pitch is the same. And then to go back and start over, it just continues forever and ever and ever and ever. It's the same 4 pitches. Any note in this chord can be considered the root. So a C diminished and an E flat diminished chords, they have the exact same notes, as does G flat and A. So all those have the exact same notes. The chord symbol for this has the root, the open circle, and then the 7. That tells us it's diminished, fully diminished 7th. C, open circle 7. B flat, open circle 7. versus the open circle with a line through it for half diminished. Okay, so there is an overview of the 7th chords. Now, 9ths and 11ths and 13ths can be added to these. If you want to know about that, you can check out my quick answer video on 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths, which are added to 7th chords, so 9th, 11th, and 13th chords. And if you need those voicings, specific voicings, there are videos out there showing first position and movable shapes. In the quick answer series, there are videos that will explain individual voicings. So if you need a specific voicing, just find the video that talks about it. Hope you're having fun with the guitar, and we'll catch you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.